does the high-level pattern work with the front here in Florida? There are a bunch of people teaching the scissor. What do you mean with the front? Just curious. Front leg, okay? Where the hitter finishes scissoring the back leg, I tell my son don't listen to him, okay? You shouldn't be taught to scissor. The scissor will happen to some and it won't happen to others. I've got 2 or 3 players that have never been taught to scissor, but when they swing, they scissor. I have several players that have never been taught to scissor that don't scissor. They've been taught the high-level pattern, and what the rear leg does is different from hitter to hitter. When I was doing my learning, I looked at Barry Bonds' rear foot, I looked at Albert Pujols' rear foot, I looked at Jim Thome's rear foot, I looked at Adrian Gonzalez's rear foot, Manny Ramirez, I looked at all of them, their rear foot. And there's, I don't know, 5 or 6 or 7 different ways that rear foot reacts, yet they're all turning the barrel and swinging from a stretch and fire swing. So I don't even look at the rear foot ever as any kind of checkpoint. In fact, it was just, I don't know, 3 months ago, maybe 6 months ago, when Joey Kuna was going off on the scissor and how wonderful it is and how he teaches it, which his teaching is absolutely pathetic. His goal is to scissor, not to hit the ball. I mean, that's basically, yeah, he wants to hit the ball, but only if you scissor. So during that time, when I was going round and round with him, I started looking at my hitters, and sure enough, I found 1 or 2. I can think of one off the top of my head that scissored, but he's never been taught to scissor. Mike Trout scissors, but Mike Trout does not do what Joey Kuna teaches. The reciprocal force of the front leg pushing back into the hip and the back as the rear leg pushes forward to make the hip move. He doesn't do that. It's clear he doesn't do that. Okay? It's obvious he doesn't do that. And yet that's what he teaches. So, to your question, I don't know how close your son is to these coaches, but he's going to have to realize that he's going to have to do the high-level pattern. Those aren't the things you look at. It may happen, it may not happen, but you've got to get a nice hand snap with a nice stretch and fire stretch, and if the foot scissors, it scissors. If it doesn't, it doesn't.